old patterns of fear creep back in? How do you find the balance, between letting go and still holding on to the desire? That's actually separate. How to deal, so these two questions, I kind of like patterns. Fear patterns. Fear patterns are just patterns. We got to release the patterns, right? Shed the patterns. And how do you do that? I want to talk about that. How to deal with daily stressors / distractions. How do you find the balance? Yep, there you go. Okay, here's the bottom line. Everything you experience in your life, your emotional state, your thoughts are a choice, period, bottom line. I'm trying to think of an example. Did I go through anything today? Whenever you're in a situation where you get the opportunity to choose something differently, where you get the opportunity to see things differently, choose to see things differently, choose a different thought, choose a different emotion. It's your emotional state that creates your outer world. The first and foremost thing to understand and believe and to really implement within your life is that this world is an illusion, right? What we see around us is a direct result of what we are projecting, of what we are radiating. There is a bit of a lag time. Understand that. Which means that everything you see now is just a product of what you were thinking probably days ago, probably for many days. And that can all change when you change, right? Nothing changes until you actually make the change. So that being said, when you are trying to ascend, when you are making a conscious, deliberate effort to reach a new level, to think differently, and you hit those moments, those bumps, those echoes where it's like that old pattern of fear gets in, this is basically your opportunity to choose something differently. That is all. So look at it as a growth opportunity. It's so funny because in my program, Magnetics, somebody actually mentioned this today. They were like, you know what? One thing that I'm realizing, because I was asking them, like, tell me about a success. Tell me about what you learned. What was the big thing for you? And I had one of the students in the class that was like, I'm just realizing that when I get faced with these opportunities, I'm going to call them opportunities. When I get faced, hey, Jamie, no worries there, no worries, everything's perfect. When I get faced with these old patterns, I now recognize that it's an opportunity for me to actually choose something differently, right? Because you guys know too much. You guys know that it's about that you can choose your thoughts and your emotional state, and it's your emotional state, it's your vibration that will then shift you into a different reality. You don't have to just simply knee-jerk react to what you're seeing. You don't have to continue to repeat the same pattern. We will continue to attract the same experiences, the same people, the same lessons until we learn the lesson, until you learn the lesson, until you choose differently, right? So when you get that opportunity, especially when you're growing, especially when you're ascending, you're going to hit those periods, those moments where it's like, okay, here's the thing. As you grow, as you ascend, it's like a loop. It goes like that, right? It's never really like, so as you continue to grow, you're going to hit, and what this means, this is like the past. You're going to encounter the past. You're going to encounter projections of your future, but you're going to hit it at a different spot. You're going to hit it at a different vibrational level. So it's like the same thing when you go to read a book again and again. You never pick up, you can pick up the same things, but you always tend to pick up more. You always tend to see things that you didn't see before. And that's because you're looking at it with different eyes. You're looking at it with an expanded consciousness. So the point is that as you continue to grow, as you continue to choose different thoughts, as you continue to choose and implement different core beliefs, like everything's always working out for me. I know this is part of my journey. I know everything's only getting better. I know that I'm safe. I know that I'm secure. I know that only good can come from the situation. As you continue to truly choose that, when you get the opportunity, i.e. when you are faced with something that seems to counter that, or when you're faced with something that, and I just thought of this example. How many of you all have experienced, let's say you went through a breakup, right? And for the longest time, maybe you wanted the relationship to work out. Maybe you wanted that person to come back. And they didn't, right? Nothing happened. And then it's like the minute you let go, the minute you moved on, that person reappears in your life. And you're like, why now? Like, where were you when I wanted you? And to me, this is always an opportunity to then ask yourself to see things differently, to get clarity on, do I want to continue choosing this person, this relationship? Or what am I now ready to let go of? What am I now ready to see clearly? What do I actually now want to create? To me, those things, I just, and it's not even with relationships, it's like with everything. Nicole, right? So true for you. That's so funny. We were literally on a call, and as you're like releasing, as you're making the intention, and here's the thing, you like, I do believe we get tested. I do believe, and I say tested, I don't think the universe is trying to play a trick on you, but what happens is we get these echoes of the past, right? And it's always, and you can look at it as a test, but I look at it as an opportunity. Am I really ready to release this? Am I really ready to choose something differently? Right? Am I going to react with anger like I usually do, or with frustration, or with doubt? Or am I instead going to choose something different? And when you choose something different, when the fear creeps back in, when the person tries to come back in your life, the only question, the only thing you ever have to do with anything is to tune in and say, what do I actually choose now? What actually feels aligned for me? What's that hell yes for me? Do I want to go back into fear, or am I now going to powerfully choose to move from trusting that what I really want is there, is available? Does this make sense, you guys? So basically, this is flexing the faith muscle. This is basically saying, you know what? I'm going to choose love over fear. I'm going to choose to trust over fear. I'm going to choose something different. I'm going to choose to believe in the possibilities. I'm going to choose to believe in myself. I'm going to choose to trust that everything's perfect. I'm going to choose to know that everything's working out for me. I'm going to choose to believe something different. And the minute you do that, the minute you choose differently, you change everything. Boom. Boom, right? So that's the bottom line. Whenever old fear patterns creep back in, it's an opportunity, right? You can look at it like a test. Are you going to be the same person that you were? Are you going to revert back to the old ways of thinking and being? Or are you going to choose something differently, right? So that's why honestly journaling, there is power in writing. There's so much power and focus when you just write down what you wish to call in, what you wish to conjure. I want you guys almost, and here's what I would think is next level. I want you guys to really think of yourself as having the ability to literally conjure up energy. And you do that by choosing your emotional state, right? So what are you conjuring up in this moment? Because that's all that matters. Manifestation is the birth, is the result of energy. So what are you conjuring up? Like in this moment, are you deciding, I'm going to conjure up love and security, and to know that I'm safe, and to know that there's so much love and abundance available for me? I'm abundant. I'm abundantly supportive. I can feel that. I'm going to draw that in. I'm literally going to conjure it up like a sorceress. I'm going to feel it in every part of my body. And I'm going to sit in that energy until it manifests. Because it's going to manifest, because it has to manifest, because that's how the law of attraction works. That's how this universe works. What you see is an illusion. It is a product of what you are, the energy you're conjuring up. Ooh, my voice. So when old fear patterns come back in, that is your chance to really just stand up, become convicted, prove to yourself that you actually believe what you're trying to implement, prove to the universe that you're not going back. That's your chance to powerfully set a new intention. I'm not, and this, oh my gosh, so a good example for me with this was like when I was dealing with like daily panic attacks, like bad panic attacks. And it was rooted in fear. It ultimately was rooted in a feeling not safe. Well, I think it started with just not being happy, not being aligned, not being on my path. But then I would feel these physical sensations and I would start to get freaked out, like, oh my God, I think I'm dying. And once the practical step that helped me through that was also going to the doctor and realizing, no, I'm not dying. This is me. So for me to move past the anxiety, I had to choose a different response than what I was choosing before. Instead of choosing, when I felt those old sensations of dizziness or, fear, whenever I could have regressed back into freaking out, like, oh my God, this means something bad's happening, I'm dying, like I'm freaking out, whatever. Instead of, the only way I could have moved through that was to choose something different. And so when I felt that fear coming in, when I felt those sensations coming in, I made a very clear intention to remind myself, no, I am fine. I am safe. I am fine. I am safe. I am safe. It's fine. I'm healthy. And I just repeated that. And every time it popped up, I repeated it. And that's how I got through it. And it's not a perfect, pop up. It's a journey. It definitely is a journey. You're not going to do it once and then be cured, right? Patterns have a way of sneaking back when you may least expect it. But again, that's just your opportunity to continue to practice your new vibration, to continue to flex that faith muscle, to continue to really build confidence in yourself and your power. And that's really what it comes down to. So I'm seeing a lot of hearts. So I'm guessing you guys are vibing with it and getting it. So that's that. It's just, again, it doesn't mean you're doing anything bad. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just how it works. It's just how it works. When we are ascending and changing and growing, we're going to get the opportunity to continue to choose differently. Okay, so next question was, and if you guys have questions that tangent off what I'm talking about, please feel free. Finding the balance between letting go and still holding the desire. Oh my God, I love this. Okay. When you guys work with the law of attraction, when you guys work with manifesting, there is power in, thank you for sharing. I was just about to ask about dealing with fear when it shows up through panic attacks or social anxiety. Yes, it's tough because you become aware that it's in your head, but it's difficult to control the physical sensations. Yeah, and it's so real. When you are having physical sensations, it is terrifying because it is real. That your fear is literally manifesting in your body. The very thing you're scared of, losing control of your body, dying, passing out, whatever, you're actually manifesting that fear. And the only way you're going to get over that physical manifestation is to change the inner game, is to then, instead of continuing to knee-jerk react and say, oh my God, I knew it, I'm dying or something, you have to say, wait, no, I'm not, I am safe. I know I'm fine. I know this is in my mind. I know this is a product of my emotions and what I've been thinking and fearing. And so now I get a chance to choose something differently. And I'm telling you, those of you guys that deal with panic attacks, oh my God, like kudos to you, because it takes a brave person. I mean, we all face our own challenges. But when you're facing something like every day where you really are scared for your safety and you know you have to face the fire, face the dragon anyways, and you still show up and you still choose yourself and you still choose healing and you still choose to grow despite what you're being confronted with, despite all the obstacles, despite everything you're feeling and thinking is real, when you are still choosing to show up and choose something differently, that's freaking courageous. So honor yourself for just moving forward. As scary and as hard as it is, there is another side. And that's the other thing too. When fear pops up, that was the thing that got me through as well. Knowing that there is another side to this. You connecting with the future you, the you 6 months from now, 1 year from now, that is not experiencing this anymore, that has chosen to trust in herself, that has chosen to believe in herself, to believe in healing, to believe that she's going to get through this. You connecting with you on the other side of this, that is a powerful way to move through. I would do this when I would be like in really weird circumstances where I'd be like in pain. I'm like, I'd be like in such a dramatic state of being. What would help me through it a lot of the times is just imagining there's going to be a time, a year from now, where this is no longer an issue. And I'm going to connect with that. I know I'm going to get through it. I'm going to think about being there right now. You can connect. If you can connect with the you that's past this, that's on the other side, you actually create that in the now, and it manifests much more quickly. And you can use this with anything. This is actually a very powerful manifestation technique. If there's something you're desiring and wanting, instead of seeing yourself not having it, not being it, see yourself a year from now, just visualize being, or 6 months from now, or 3 months from now, visualize the you that's there and feel it in the now. Okay, because that puts you in having it in the now. Oh, hey, Suzanne, thank you. That's going to draw it to you, right? We want to step out of what is. We want to get out of that reality. We want to step into what it is we're conjuring, okay? All right, cool. I'm going to play this over and over. You are saying exactly what I needed to hear. Hey, all right. Everything's perfect. Yes. Okay, cool. Second thing, I love this, finding the balance between letting go and still holding the desire. Right.